measure, Justin Bale. Number 77, point guard, another local talent and NBA anywhere rookie, Ryan Mendes Carvajal. And at number 4, the shooting guard, and our second local rookie. Make some noise for Aaron Allison. At number 15, small forward. And now, a Santa Elena resident, we have no other than Mr. Ray Cruz. Number 1, we have our American import from Texas, shooting guard, Mark Gordon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, it is time to introduce our starting lineup. Make some noise! Hailing from down south, Mr. Skywalker, the 2016 NBA rebounding champ, at number 0, our point guard, our local talent, our star, Jimmy Kimba Carvajal. At number 30, the shooting guard, Tyler Sniper, the one, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kyron Foot Molina! Number 7, and small forward, and the team captain, our very own Elvis Glory Usher! And last, but certainly not least, number 34, coming all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, our center, Richard Smith the third. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost that time to play ball.
Yes, we are coming to you live from the Sacred Heart Auditorium here in beautiful San Ignacio. Reynard Gabat alongside the boomman Peter Lacey. Peter Lacey, a very festive night inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium.
Yes, this is definitely one of the best home court advantages in all of the BEBL. So we're definitely excited to see what the Western Ballaz have to offer. You know, with the exiting, and I'll just stick a pin to that as we sing the national anthem.
By the minds of truth and the grace of God, no longer shall we be hewers of wood. Arise, ye sons of the barren stand, put on your armor, clear the line, drive by that tyrant.
beautiful rendition of our national anthem of Belize. And you were saying just before the national anthem, Peter.
Need to stick a pin in that again. We have the prayer.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we give you thanks, we give you praise for this day, for this opportunity, for these occasions. Father, we ask you that you will lead and guide everything that will be done here today. We ask that you bless the coaches and all the fans, the players from both teams. We thank you, Lord God, for giving those who travel from afar traveling mercies. We pray that you bless every person present here. I pray that there will be peace, and we thank you also for the policemen who are here to keep law and order. And I ask you, Lord God, that you will continue to guide them through your Holy Spirit. Once again, all these people responsible to make this thing happen, to make this thing be a reality, I also pray that you will help them. So tonight, Lord God, we commit this game, and as today be the opening of this game, oh God, I pray that it will be enjoyable to everyone. And Lord God, let the honor and the glory be for you. We ask, Father God, all these mercies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Senator.
Okay, so as we, before we get into our commentary, we definitely need to recognize our sponsors. Sprite, Enjoy Your Thirst, the official beverage of the Belize Elite Basketball League, Belize Bank eCash, and powered by yours truly, Next Gen. Okay, so as we get ready to for action between the Western Ballaz and the Running Rebels. Running Rebels in 2020 were knocking on the door of their first ever playoff berth in our semi-pro basketball league. They have brought a pretty formidable team. I believe they are going to be they're going to be one of the better half-court teams in the BEBL with Kirk Chengo Burgess, with Brian White, definitely one of the best big men, and coming off their bench is arguably one of the greatest high school players in Belize basketball high school history, Kashif Thomas, three-time national champion. Not many players can boast what he was. In the 2008-2009 years when he was at St. Vernon Technical High School along with Andrew Bynum Ortiz, the minute he stepped foot on the court, the game was over. The only person that was able to take down Kashif Thomas was Gwen Lizaraga with Matthew Jiggy Young. So he was the only person to have brought defeat to Kashif Thomas. And Kashif Thomas was only his first year of running St. Vernon Technical High School office, but he rebounded and he won back-to-back champions when he was in third and fourth form. Fast forward now to the Western Ballaz. How are they going to perform moving forward without their MVP, Chris the Meal Ticket Frazier, who is now with the Hurricanes? And of course, we just saw Richard Troyer. Not sure if he's going to join their roster at some point, but he has definitely been a part of the success of the Western Ballaz when they were back-to-back sub-champions in the first 2 years of the Elite Basketball League. So how is the Western Ballaz going to move forward with just their local talent? We are going to see here tonight.
Well, it's good to see Karim Juan. He went from coach to commissioner,
yes,
now back to coach. And so it's good to see Karim in the coaching box. Over the 6 years that he was a commissioner of the NEBL at that time, because now it's the BEBL.
Yes.
Karim did an exceptional job for the league. And what we are seeing tonight is the trend that he has set. Last night, Civic Center, it was a good attendance by the fans from Belize City. They came out in numbers, and tonight we're in a jam-packed Sacred Heart Auditorium. We know that Karim can coach, and so I think that he will have these young players well motivated for this home opener tonight.
Yes, Karim Juan is synonymous with Kayo basketball. You cannot say Kayo basketball without seeing Karim Juan. That is the impact that he has had throughout all levels and facets of basketball here in the Kayo district, especially of the Twin Tongues. So definitely his presence, his impact has definitely been felt, well appreciated, and we definitely look forward to see if he can, hone those coaching skills and motivate a very young roster with the Western Ballaz. Now you finally have guys that couldn't get playing time with let me see here, Kyron Tut Molina. My apologies here. Kyron Tut Molina is one of the great high flyers to come out of the Akayo district. Let's see if he can, not always try to go 100 miles an hour, but try to slow down, get into half court sets, and see if they can put easy baskets and score points for the Western Ballaz. Now, when you have somebody like Jamie Carvajal, definitely conditioning is always a factor for Jamie Carvajal, but when it comes to outright point guard skills and ball sense, he's definitely one of those better point guards, but usually he brings his talent to rescue the team off of the bench. Now, can he be that table setter that can give the Western Ballaz leads and that leadership? Can they get early leads? I know we have to look at the bench. Do they have a bench that can sustain leads if they do get them against a veteran, seasoned team that the Orange Walk Running Rebels have put together in this 2023 season?
When we look at what Orange Walk Running Rebels, the players up front, Kirk Chengo Burgess, Brian White, and Joshua Hopkins, is a huge front line. And I think it will give Western Ballaz some trouble tonight. I can see Orange Walk offense more in the paint than from behind the three-point arch. And so we'll have to monitor that. But what Western Ballaz need to do tonight, Peter, they will need to come out and set the trend. They will need to dictate the pace of this game tonight. If they cannot do that, it will be a long night for them.
Yes. One of the greatest shots ever made in NEBL, no BEBL history, was done by Robert Smith III.
Richard Smith III.
Richard Smith the third, when he was with the then Belmopan Bandits, now back to the Belmopan Red Tigers. And I have to say, Richard Smith III is the person that brought the essence of the boom to life. How can you have the greatest shot definitely in Bandits history, and I had no answer for that? I had to go home for that entire week, and I had to come up with my slogan.
Is this where the boom originated from?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I had no answer. I literally was like, oh my goodness, I had no answer for that big shot that he took in the against the then defending champs over the outstretched arms of Andrew Bynum Ortiz in the UB gymnasium. So definitely he's the player that motivated me that I need to get my commentating skills together, and we brought it from week 2 since on for years to come.
All right, what we'll do, we'll go to a break, and when we come back, we will have tip-off for you from inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium. We'll be back. As we welcome you back inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium, like I mentioned, a jam-packed Sacred Heart Auditorium for Western Ballaz opening night, and the home team will be going with Jamie Carvajal, Elvis Usher Jr., Macario Agustin, who comes by way of Riga Dream Ballers.
Yes.
And so he's in a Western Ballaz uniform tonight.
And he is the Honorable Macario Agustin Village Council Chairman from Hopkins. And I'm telling you, he's one of the best hustlers, you know, that glue guy. And you need a veteran presence like that will be able to stabilize a young Western Ballaz team. And as we saw with the Dream Ballers last night, youth is always good you know, if they don't get carried away. You know, the Dream Ballers got out early, but when things got rough and tough, they didn't have any answer. That is where the inexperience of the youth comes into play, unfortunately. Now you're looking at at something similar now with the Western Ballers who are going local, and they are having to dig into their roster to find those young local talents that can at least try to sneak into the players. So adding Makari Agustin is definitely huge on this Western Ballers team.
Yes, and we know what he brings. He works both sides of the floor, offensive and defensive boards. That's where he gets most of his points off offensive rebounds. Western Ballers dressed in their red and black and white top, and the visiting team, as you see, Chengo Burgess right there, looking in good form. Orange Walk Running Rebels in their blue top with blue bottom.
And then finally, we need to speak about Elvis Usher Jr. One of the keys to the season for the Western Ballers is if he can get his three-point shooting going. No, he's not coming off the bench. He's a starter, and his scoring is going to be in the half court is definitely going to be relied upon if he so it comes down to if he can produce. And that is what we're going to see if the Western Ballers can pull out these victories. It's definitely what we consider a transition year for the Western Ballers. So definitely it's night 2 of a season that I call unfinished business. Definitely there was no champion in 2020, and we have, we haven't had a basketball season since. Now in the post-pandemic era, let's see what the former 2-time sub-champions are with these Western Ballers.
Peter, and there have to be butterflies going through these guys right now. It was like, what, 4 years?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. And now we are back. Like I mentioned, the BEBL. Players, they're anxious, and they're ready to go tonight. But the first 5, probably 7 minutes will tell on them. You will see that nervousness. And after that, when they settle in, then we will start to see basketball.
I believe that the Running Rebels may very well get out to Richard Smith III trying to get the putback, but it is no good. But yes, I believe that the Running Rebels can indeed get out to an early lead, but let's see if fatigue plays a role with this Running Rebels team, and do they have the legs to go 40 minutes against a much younger Western Ballers team.
And you see Richard Smith III establishing himself early in the first quarter with the putback. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but I like his aggressiveness.
Yes, and he's definitely going to be. Is that
offensive foul?
That's a first turnover. Not sure if Elvis Usher Jr.'s feet were out of bounds.
And I know that you're high on Kashif.
But you have to remember, this is 2008, 2009 Kashif Thomas. We're in 2023. You know, he's a legend in Belize basketball history, but what does he have in 2023? Jamie Carvajal trying to set a play. Good ball movement early on by the Western Ballers. And Elvis Usher, and I like the aggressiveness. And that's a turnover, second turnover of the night.
Yeah, second turnover, and like I said, you know, it's going to take these players a little while to settle down, but when they settle down, you will enjoy a beautiful game.
Kashif Thomas, out to from Thomas to Thomas. Kashif missing there, rebound by Richard Smith III. Richard Smith to Usher. Usher up and under, no good with the finger roll.
A good defense there by Brian White. All he did was stood his ground.
And rebound there by Ihek. I'll have to make sure that we're pronouncing his name correctly. As we're going to see most of the season, Kurt Chengo Burgess will be in that point forward role. Ihek, sorry, that is Hopkins. Here comes Jamie Carvajal. Both teams have yet to score. And the first points of the Western Ballers season comes by no other than Elvis Usher Jr.
And I like the aggressiveness of Elvis Usher here in early going of the first quarter. Even though he missed his first 2 shots, he continued to be aggressive. The third one paid off, made the basket, foul, and now he's at the free throw line.
As I said, it will be up to him. Where the where the Western Ballaz go is how far Elvis Usher Jr. can take them.
As he missed his first free throw of the quarter.
And Brian White, that should have been goaltending. Referee missed that one, but Brian White in typical Brian White fashion with the offensive rebound and scores. Richard Smith for 3. Rebounded there by Kurt Chengo Burgess.
And this is what Kurt Burgess can do, who can rebound, plus he can bring the ball over the timeline.
So we have Ehek almost turns it over, get it up top to Kashif Thomas. Kashif Thomas thinking about the shot. Hopkins trying to draw the fall, not a good shot there, rebounded by Elvis Usher. And here it comes, Toot for 2.
So Molina leaked out off the missed shot and was rewarded with the long pass from Elvis Usher.
Kashif for 3. Try to go glass. Chengo. Jab step. Posting against smaller man. Not a good pass.
And a kick ball there will be called on Jamie Carbajal.
When it comes to Kurt Chengo Burgess, he has to see the mismatch and pound it inside on Karen Tuk Molina. He cannot be looking for a pass unless the double team comes. Kashif Thomas. Kashif trying to look for the fall. Here comes Elvis. Toot for 2.
Excellent ball passing by Western Ballaz. 3 pass and they get a layup.
And you know that Karen Tuk Molina is going to be the fastest man on the court for this game. Toot! Here comes Karen Tuk Molina. Karen! Missing there. Rebels. Can they make them pay off that miss? Ehek missing. Richard Smith. Karen Toot for 3. Boom! Karen Tuk Molina!
And Western Ballaz has settled down, Peter.
The speed of the Western Ballaz is definitely going to play a factor in this ballgame. Kashif trying to go back to her, good idea, but out the shots on of Joshua Hopkins.
And we have our first timeout here in the first half. Western Ballaz putting a run together with Molina and Elvis Usher Jr. That's Richard Smith off the miss. Very aggressive off the offensive glass. As we take a look at it once again on the replay, the fans would have exploded here inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium if that jam would have went down.
Richard Smith did the third. You know, he was more looked at as a big time scorer. You know, when you hit one of the biggest shots in semi-pro history, you know, there's a lot of expectations. And he sort of like disappeared since then. I know he has battled some injuries, but he just needs to be that enforcer. He doesn't really need to push it on the offensive end. And look at my favorite player, Ellsworth Itza. He's with the Western Ballaz. And definitely when you have someone as intimidating as Ellsworth Itza, number 21, coming off the bench, it's going to be a long night for the Rebels. Brian White. Brian White making the Western Ballaz pay off the inbound. Can't be falling asleep there. Karen Tuk Molina. Defended there by Hopkins. Richard Smith gets it in the post. Macari Augustin versus Brian White. Toot! Boom! Fade away 3.
And this game have a quick release, Peter. As soon as the ball touches his hands, it's out of his hands.
I'm not sure if they have a award for most improved player, but if he can keep this up moving forward.
Very good help defense by Richard Smith III.
Exactly. Draws the foul. Boom! Not a 3, but a big shot there by Richard Smith III. It's all Western Ballaz early on in the first quarter.
Richard Smith III off his right foot, and he nailed the jumper, got foul. He's now at the free throw line trying to complete the three-point play.
You're going to see a lot of upsets in this season. You're going to see teams that you don't expect to be in the running for a playoff berth sneak in. Kind of Western Ballaz, you know, so early on, but they're so impressive that you have to start looking at those and you have to start thinking about that in a very short season. Elvis Usher drops the ball. Karen took Molina. Defended by Hopkins. To Richard Smith for three. Boom! Richard Smith the third.
And that very good, good defense there by Elvis Usher. That's sorry, not Elvis Usher, but number 14. That will be Elvis Oliveira, who has checked into the ball game.
Oliveira blocked there by Richard Smith III. As we see two substitutions, as he said, Oliveira too fast. Boya.
It's a 19-6 ball game in favor of the home team, Western Ballaz.
Elvis Oliveira trying to get it to go. And the War Angel, also a product from St. Vernon Technical High School and a three-time high school champion that he won those with the leadership of Kashif Thomas back in the day.
And Elvis seems to be a little bit heavy, we know, and it's the first game of the season, and so as the season progresses, we'll see these players start trimming down their weight. But what he brings is that wide body, that wide span, and he's not a good leaper. But because of his wide span, he gets a lot of offensive rebounds.
Yes, and Elvis Oliveira is a former Rookie of the Year. I believe it was as he makes the free throw, and it's now an 11-point advantage for the Western Ballaz.
So the John Baptist has checked into the game, number 4, along with Elvis Oliveira for Orange Walk Running Rebels.
Carvajal blows past Baptist.
It's a strong move there by Jamie Carvajal. Got to the rack, but he couldn't finish. He's at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws.
So you see the first substitution there. We have number 1, Mark Gordon, in the ballgame for the Western Ballaz.
Carvajal makes good on his first free throw.
Western Ballaz extend their lead now to 21-8.
We have 3:39 to go in the quarter.
Rodrigo Burgess gets it. That's number 2, Akeem Trapp, former Hurricane player. Oliveira, what a play there. He went from the back door, cut up to the free throw line, and got an easy 12-footer. Gordon, boom! Mark Gordon for 3.
Mark Gordon with his first shot from behind the arc, looking good.
This is going to be the season of the unknown. You're going to see players that you've never heard before performing under the bright lights throughout this league.
Mark Gordon running the floor very well, was the recipient of the pass, but it's fall going to the basket, and so he will be at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws. Western Ballaz 0 for 2 from the charity stripe here in the first quarter. Make that 0 for 3.
far. Western Ballaz shooting 64% from the field, 9 for 14 compared to 4 for 14, 28% for the Orange Block from the Rebels. The Rebels are 0 for 4 from downtown, and the Western Ballaz are perfect from downtown. Hopkins.
And we haven't seen much from Hopkins and Tri-Hat so far in this first quarter, Peter.
Ricochets off the back of the backboard, and it's ball back to the Western Ballaz.
That's
77. Ryan Carbajal. So you're seeing excellent rotation by Kareem Juan, trusting his bench early on in the game. Here comes Carbajal. Carbajal to Toot. Toot! Too fast for you. Another transition bucket for the Western Ballaz.
And what Molina has done so far, with the last shot, he took the ball right into the chest of Elvis Oliveira, and that shows that this kid is playing with a huge heart tonight in front of his home fans. And you know, Peter, we always thought that he was going to be this breakout player for then Verdes, and tonight asserting him in the starting lineup, and I guess that they have been putting in the work, I would say 4 months before the start of the season. And so Coach Kareem Juan is building the confidence level of this young player.
Look at the disparity of these stats so far. 13 fast break points for the Western Ballaz, plus 2 for the Orange Rock Running Rebels.
See, number 4 also is in the ball game for Western Ballaz, and that's Aaron Allison.
Here comes Ford, gets it to Richard Smith. Deep into the benches, the Western Ballaz. Allison. Sorry, that's Carbajal out up top to Mark Gordon.
As Ryan Carbajal is at the free throw line, shooting 2 free throws.
Oh my goodness, his stats just keep coming in. 16 first quarter points for Kyron to Molina. Elvis Oliveira is the leading scorer off of the bench with 6 points, followed by Brian White with 4. Mark Gordon off the bench with 4 points, Richard Smith with 3, Jamie Carbajal with 2, and Elvis Usher with 2.
Western Ballaz now 1 out of 6 from the free throw line, and they will need to correct that as this game progresses.
Now it's a turnover there. Western Ballaz are harassing the Running Rebels. What a block shot by Richard Smith III. Allison. Carbajal. Richard Smith for 3. And that's the first miss from downtown for the Western Ballaz.
The foul call there on number 8 of a orange walk, and what a block there by Richard Smith III, going
levitation.
And I think number 8 is Rashid Reno, because I see 2 number 9 here, and so I think number 8 is Rashid Reno for Orange Walk Running Rebels.
Yes, and he is the younger brother of Roger Reno. I'm telling you, he's a high flyer. It's definitely a reversal of rules. The Western Ballaz are the running team, and the Running Rebels are too slow thus far. Reno. So the narrative of homegrown talent is definitely showing its true colors in this 2023 season.
Justin Ford with the foul.
Hakeem Trapp. Hopkins for 3. Short. Not a good pass there. And what you don't want to see is the Western Ballaz. As I said, this is where the youth can come back to bite them. Slow it down slow the pace down. And when you see a guy like number 77 Carbajal, like Jamie Carbajal, they are the ones that slow the pace down. Gordon missing there. Second chance opportunity for three. No good. And Mark Gordon with the putback. Elvis Oliveira falling asleep there. 29-10.
Mark Gordon very energetic off the offensive board. I love the aggressiveness that Mark has bring off the bench so far for Western Ballaz. And there he goes again, taking the ball deep into the painted area. Foul, and now he'll be at the free throw line, and I think that is something that he might have to work on during as the season progresses. Free throws, he's 1 out of 3 so far from the free throw line.
Free throws have always been a problem throughout the lead. Total rebounds thus far, Richard Smith III with 8. 2 assists for Macari Augustine, 1 block by Richard Smith III. 31-10. Western Ballaz over the Running Rebels. What a first quarter. And they are setting the pace. It was a low-scoring affair for the most part in last night's contest. Western Ballaz showing that they have plenty of arsenal.
Hopkins being guarded there by Carbajal.
No good. That was shot there by Akeem Trot.
And first quarter has come to an end. 31-10. Western Ballaz looking sharp in the first quarter.
Before we go to break, Sprite, enjoy your thirst, the official beverage of the Belize Elite Basketball League. Sponsors, Belize Bank, eCash, and powered by NextGen. We'll be back for second quarter action.
As we welcome you back inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium, it's a 21-point lead for Western Ballaz here as we start the second quarter. Rainer Garbutt alongside the boom man Peter Lacey.
Yes, it's just been a blistering pace by these Western Ballaz. 61% from the field, 80% from downtown, to just 18% for the Running Rebels. 0%. They haven't made a three-point shot as yet. What the Western Ballaz need to improve upon, though, is these free throws. 5 for 10. You cannot be, these free throws can come back to bite you if the Running Rebels sort of find their footing and get back into this ball game.
Western Ballaz will need to keep this energy for the entire game, Peter. They cannot take their foot off the gas.
We would have never looked at the Western Ballaz compared to these seasoned veterans from the Running Rebels and feel that they would have had a plus 9 rebound advantage here tonight. Thus far, points in the paint, plus 6 for the Western Ballaz, 14-8. Of course, that comes a lot from these outlet passes to Kyron Molina. He's the fastest player on the court. We know the athleticism that he brings. The Western Ballaz have a plus 2 advantage in bench points thus far, and fast break points, plus 13, 15-2.
And what we see in the first quarter, Coach Juan will push this youngster. He will have them leak out for the easy basket that will generate the energy onto the other players out there on the floor for him.
One thing that can hurt the Western Ballaz is trying to push the fast break a little bit too much, to push the transition, because what we saw in just one instance, but they were, the balls can get stolen if the other team is prepared to try and intercept these long outlet passes. So those are just some of the small things that they just have to look out and to not allow the Running Rebels to get back into this.
But what Richard Smith has shown in the first quarter, he's ready to protect the rim on defense.
Trap, Hopkins, short.
We see Itza starting the second quarter.
And I love the trap. Johan Bermudez almost coming up with the turnover. But when you have number 21 Ellsworth Itza, the enforcer, on your bench, one, you have him motivated, and I think you don't want to give him anything Eldred Itzan. You don't want to make him feel like, okay, I have to be a starter, you know, because of my presence. When you have someone like that coming off the bench, he's going to do everything in his power to get things going. As Allison forces up a shot, shot selection, you have to watch for the Western Baller. Hopkins, mid-range jumper, and it's good.
We see number 7, Casemiro, is in the ball game for Orange Walk Running Rebels.
Johan Bermudez. Gordon getting a lot of playing time off the bench. Itza turns it over. But the Running Rebels doesn't make the Western Ballers pay off the turnover. Brian, quick spin move, excellent spin move there by Brian White. Draws the foul, but misses a point blank shot. You see the excellent spin move there, but he misses the 2 or 3 foot two-handed layup.
Brian White making good on his first free throw. And we know that Orange Walk, they will make a run. Will Western Ballers ready for when Orange Walk makes their run? That is the question.
I believe sometimes large leads, and that should have been a backcourt violation. Good defense there. This is a patent full court defense from Coach Troy Gabb. Trap. Boom! Orange Walk Running Rebels now 1 for 10 from downtown. That's their first make of the night. And the defense comes. Hopkins, and ricochets off the rim. And that should have been a foul. Here comes Heck, gets it, third chance opportunity. Shot, can't get it to go. Finally, Johan Bermudez comes up with the fast break. He gets knocked over. Mark Gordon blows past White. Finger roll, and Heck says, get that out of here.
What a block.
Drop.
Offensive foul.
And Johan Bermudez is shaking up. This is not a court that you want to fall on. This is hard concrete, ladies and gentlemen. That should be 2 shots there by Trap.
I think Johan Bermudez was sliding to his right, but he got the call as we have a timeout on the floor. What we'll do, we'll take a break and then we will be back. Orange Walk Running Rebels making a run here in the second quarter, getting himself back in this ball game. As we see Molina back on the floor. Itza with the turnaround jumper. It's no good.
So the Rebels are trying to make a run here, but still a ways to go, down by 15 points.
And Coach Gabb looking for that chemistry that will bring them back in this ball game.
Hopkins. Trap. Baseline. Gets it back out for 3. No good. And here comes Gordon. And there's Carbajal missing there. He gets back to steal. Trying to draw the ball, but he doesn't miss there. Jamie Carbajal. 33-16.
Jamie that time not giving up on the play. Got the steal and made good on his second attempt.
Drop. Casemiro. Hopkins. Trying to draw a play. Trying to probably look for a backdoor. Drop. Up and under. No good rebounded there by Eldred Itzan. Mark Gordon. He draws the ball and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And Gordon continued to be aggressive, attacking the rim. That time he was fouled. He would be at the free throw line trying to make his free throws. Beautiful outlet pass there from J.B. Carbajal.
Mark Gordon, first free throw, he makes it. Second one is good. So as we said, some of the hiccups that we were pointing out from the Western Ballaz, even though they enjoyed this large lead, was free throws, and they are definitely working on that to improve that percentage.
And a reaching foul call on Carbajal. That time a little bit over aggressive against Kashif Thomas.
And I'm sure some of these veteran players like Carbajal maybe had faced Kashif Thomas in high school. Casemiro for three. Boom!
Beautiful stroke there by Casemiro, showing that he had the range.
Almost a turnover there. 35-18. Ballaz. Molina, not a good pass there. And as he said, speed is not everything, especially in the half-court offense. Patience is, and you have to see these when the defense cheats, trying to go for steals before they actually happen. And we have Cruz, and he's one of the hardest working players in the BBL. Kashif Thomas. Kashif trying to go up and under, doesn't get it, looking for the fall. Mark Gordon. Carbajal gets it in the post. Richard Smith blocked there by Ihek. Thomas to Hopkins. Thomas. Hopkins for three. Boom! Here come the Rebels.
Hopkins from distance, knocking down his first three-point shot. Oh, what a move, what a drive there by Richard Smith the third. That fall, he will be at the free throw line. As four of the starters, they're back on the floor. The three of the starters back on the floor for Western Ballaz. First free throw is good. Second free throw, no good, but look at the hustle there by Richard Smith.
Oh, and it's on Mark Gordon trying to draw the ball there. Carbajal, Lob City, woo! Richard Smith was trying to send a man to the upper room, doesn't get it. Here come the Rebels for three. Boom! Hopkins on the other end. Here come the Rebels.
Off the block, three-point shot for running Rebels.
Woo! Lob City, Western Ballaz. Thomas, Casemiro. Casemiro, what a pass, give and go pass there. Excellent cut, but they missed. Here come Mark Gordon. Step back three. No good. Here comes the Rebels. Hopkins. Ihek draws the fall.
Joshua Ihek off the spin move, fall there by Richard Smith III. He's at the free throw line as we take a look at it once again on the replay. Clearly, Smith hitting the arm of Ihek. Ihek, the American import for Orange Walk running Rebels, as he makes his first free throw with one more to go. And we see running Rebels here in the second quarter with some life.
And he gets his own miss. Kashif gets it up. Stolen. Here it comes. Ooh. Richard Smith draws the fall. I thought he was going to go Toot, and then Toot was going to lob it back. We're trying to get some upper room footage here. Richard Smith with a crossover draws the foul.
The fall on Kashif Thomas. 38-26. First free throw good.
In all the games
that I've done here, I'm pretty sure you've done more, Reynard. Have you seen a more ram jam packed crowd as you're seeing here tonight by these Western Ballaz fans?
Not like tonight, Peter. It's jam-packed in here. Standing room is occupied. The seating, the bleachers full, reserve full. Elvis Usher Jr. back in the ball game for Western Ballaz.
Here comes Kashif for three. No good. And ball will go back to the Western Ballaz.
Last touch goes off Cruz, it seems like.
Not a good decision there by Kashif Thomas. That was a dangerous pass. Of course, he's trying to get the ball in before the 5-second violation.
And that's Richard Smith's second foul.
Corner three. Good closeout defense by Tut. Strips Kashif Thomas. Tut bounce pass. Elvis just needs to slow it down. Jab step. Carvajal somehow uses his quickness but turns it over. Kashif Thomas. Kashif trying to go bullet ball there on
Block
the bigger.
there by Ray Cruz. What a block by
Elvis
Ray Cruz.
for three. No good. Bumped it there by Kurt Chengo Burgess. Excellent defense there. Gets it to Richard Smith. What a pass. No good. Karen took Molina missing there.
Kirk Chengo Burgess back on the floor. Along with Reno, Kashif Thomas.
Not a turnover. Here comes Stud. Elvis. The former Western Ballaz player, Kurt Chengo Burgess, was a part of the founding fathers for this Western Ballaz franchise when they went to back-to-back NEBL finals.
Ryan Carvajal back on the floor for Western Ballaz.
Good. Kashif Thomas. Corner three, Hopkins. No good. Brian White. Elvis. Tut. Another fast break point. Kashif Thomas being harassed there. Carvajal. Carvajal just harassing Kashif Thomas.
.26 ball game in favor of the Western Ballaz. And it's Ballaz. Western Ballaz.
No good there by Kurt Chengo Burgess.
Again, leaking out.
Carvajal saves it. Elvis for three. No good. Kyron. Carvajal. Thought about it, gets it back out. Kyron took for three. No good. And the shot selection, you know, that needs to be checked by Coach Kareem Juan. Kurt Chengo Burgess trying to draw the foul.
And Ray Cruz step out of bounds.
Referees gave it to him anyways. And there we have it. The jig master, Matthew Young. As I said earlier in the intro, the run that Kashif Thomas had, he was vying for 4 straight national championships in high school. But Matthew Young, the baddest player for Gwen Liz at the time, he ended that run in the second year. Boom! Kurt Chengo Burgess.
And we know that he can shoot that shot.
Exactly.
And not only shoot it, but make it also.
Corner three. And this has always been something, I'm not sure if the lining is a little bit off on this court, but that corner three always commits a lot of turnovers. Trap. Trying to go backdoor to White. Chengo for three. Boom! Back to back for Kurt Chengo Burgess.
And Kirk Chengo Burgess, he's feeling it, Peter. Nailing back-to-back three-pointers here in the second quarter.
You trim the lead to single digits. Karen took Molina, trying to run the fall. Good no call there by the ref. Macari Augustin with the rebound. Macari Augustin slowing things down. Veteran move. Took for three. And he draws the foul and will go to the line for 3 free throws.
Foul call on Brian White.
Is that Chengo? Yes, that is Kurt Chengo.
No, it's Kurt Chengo Burgess with the foul.
And that is definitely, uncharacteristic from him. He's definitely one of the better decision makers in the Belize Elite Basketball League.
(41-32), a 9-point lead for Western Ballaz. They had a 21-point lead in this ball game, Peter.
It's the youth, the younger team with the running. With the three ballers last night. They had an 8-point advantage going into the second quarter, and in the blink of an eye, it was a 14-point turnaround. It's the same thing here. Will the youth play a role in them blowing this lead? And the Western Ballaz are harassing the running Rebels. Here comes Teagues, Elvis Usher, Carvajal. Good no call here on the travel. Didn't get the second foot to move. Macari Augustin, Elvis Usher, and now the travel is called. Trying to go with the jab step, delay, and then take it to the hole, but his feet move.
You see Bermudez checking back into the ball game, coming out Ryan Carvajal. And Trap has bring some life off the bench for Orange Walk running Rebels.
Yes, I'm telling you, his presence is going to be missed on the Hurricanes for sure.
Foul call on Bermudez.
Trap. Maybe a little bit tired, getting some extended minutes off the bench. Trap making the second free throw. It's now an 8-point deficit for the Rebels. Mark Young getting a lot of playing time off the bench. Mark Young stopped in his tracks there by Brian White. Excellent fake. What a pass to Macari Augustin. And he misses what would have been a beautiful pass and decision there by Elvis Usher. Drop. And the lob was going to be filthy.
Had a 2-on-1 fast break, but couldn't capitalize. But we have a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Orange Walk Running Rebels has closed the gap. It is now
8 points.
8-point lead for Western Ballaz.
The deficit was as high as 21 points in this second quarter. Final second, step back. 3. Boom! To end the half. Mark Gordon. As we head into the second half action, we're going to get some coaching interviews. And of course, Sprite, enjoy your thirst, official beverage of the Belize Elite Basketball League, Belize Bank eCash, and powered by Next Gen. We're going to get some first half interviews in a minute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's halftime.
As we are getting set to bring you second half action from inside a jam-packed Sacred Heart Auditorium here in San Ignacio. Western Ballaz up by 11, 44-33 over the Orange Walk Running Rebels, who made a run there in the second quarter after being down by 21 points.
You know, if it wasn't for that 3-point shot, it would have been a plus 13 second quarter for the Orange Walk Running Rebels. As I said, youth is going to play a role in this game. Youth can win a blowout game, but youth a lot of times doesn't win those close games. A lot of times they blow leads. So it's the experience of the Orange Walk Running Rebels that we have to look at. If that experience is going to slow this game down and force the young players, the young core that is on the floor getting big minutes, to force turnovers, which will get the Orange Walk Running Rebels back into this ball game.
Coach Troy Gabb, in the second quarter, he found that chemistry, and that's when he inserted Akeem Trapp in the ball game, along with Elvis Oliveira, and also Joshua Hopkins. He got hot in the second quarter, yes. And because of those three players, they managed to chip away.
Yes, in the second quarter, well, in the first quarter, the Orange Walk Running Rebels didn't make any three-point shots, but they ended up finishing the yes, they were 0 for 9, and then ended up finishing 6 for 10. So they shot 60% in the second quarter from downtown. That is what really got them back. And then the Western Ballaz, who made 5 3-pointers in the first quarter, missed all 5 in the second. So you know, definitely shot selection. And again, usual spot is where that turnover is going to happen. I'm not sure if that was a traveling violation on Kashif or if it was foot out of bounds. Let's see if the Western Ballaz can get into the half-court sets. Turnaround jumper, and that is short. Here comes Kurt Chengo-Burgess.
He had 2 big back-to-back 3-pointers in the second quarter.
Thomas trying to use the quickness. The speed may not be there for Kashif anymore, but he's definitely still quick, as he was able to blow past his defender.
And Brian White seems to be a little bit on the heavy side.
Brian White is always on the heavy side. I'm telling you, we call him Big Sexy. You can't look at his body type just like we can't look at Tyson Fury. Brian White, he just brings it every night. Definitely one of the best players that we have in the league. Turnover, Kashif Thomas. He's definitely nervous.
Joshua Hopkins still get up.
So Richard Smith III turns it over. Here come the Rebels.
Yeah, he forced the issue that time, talking
what
about
Richard
Smith.
Finish! What a slam. Western Ballaz now down by 5. Sorry, Running Rebels down by 5. Here come the Rebels. Kashif Thomas. For 3, they left him. Doesn't make them pay. Karen took Molina. Harassed here by Kurt Chengo-Burgess. Jim Carvajal. Macario. Teagues. Elvis Usher Jr. And a move there. Ball will remain with the Western Ballaz.
Orange Walk on a 6-0 run.
Teagues for 3. Elvis Usher missing there. And I tell you, shot selection.
And what was that, a shot clock violation?
That's a turnover. They're saying that the shot clock didn't.
They're saying it didn't touch the rim. And maybe we need to take a look at that once again on the replay if the ball did touch the rim or not.
See if we can get some footage there. So the referees are convening right now and discussing it. And they make the right decision.
There's 14
Good,
seconds.
fast decision making by the referees. Macario for 3. No good.
And that is not his shot, Peter.
And if you're the Running Rebels, you want him to take that all night. Kurt Chengobertis. Corner. Gets it up top on the left wing. Takes it inside. Blocked there. Here come the Ballaz. Kurt Chengobertis. And Elvis Usher Jr. just too fast for Kurt Chengobertis. Here comes Hopkins. Hopkins. Strong move there. Gets it off the glass.
Hopkins is a different player than what we saw in the early going of the first quarter. He's now attacking the rim. That time he got fouled, made the basket at the free throw line, and you now see Orange Walk Running Rebels coming together.
What we're hearing behind the scenes when it comes to these free agent signings with the American imports is that agencies are now getting involved in getting these players signed and sent over to Belize. So Belize basketball is definitely being noticed internationally, and that is definitely a good sign for us here at home. Tile to Molina. Turnover. Still a 5-point advantage for the Western Ballaz. A move there. And they almost stole the kick-out pass to Hopkins.
And somebody for Western Ballaz need to take charge on the court and say, let's slow it down, let's play our half-court game.
And when you have a young team, who is that going to be? Who? They don't have that.
It is now a 3-point ball game.
What a move there. What a move. Strong move. Even though the arms were up to 12 o'clock, the body was moving left to right into the body of Richard Smith III. Definitely a good call. 2 shots.
Richard Smith III will be going to the free throw line as we see Elvis Usher Jr. checking out of the ball game. In the ball game, Mark Garden.
That's a 3-point advantage. It's a 9-2 run in the third quarter. Make that 9-3. And it's now 47-43, 4-point advantage for the Western Ballaz. Kurt Chengobertis, Harase Bakalantu Molina. Trap. The trap is coming. Good defense there. Recovers. It's Baptist. Baptist too strong. And Carvajal with the rebound. Here come the Western Ballaz. Macari Augustine. Good idea, but he didn't, really put his eyes on Mark Gordon, and that was not an accurate pass. Baptist up to Hopkins. Brian White. Ehek.
Point
Travel.
blank miss there by Brian White. He had the lane, had the layup, but not the finish.
Not a turnover there. That's now 12 turnovers by the Rebels. Richard for 3. No good.
The ball slipped out of the hand of Kirk Chengobertis. And so we have a game, folks.
Carl Augustine up top to Karen took Molina. Gordon for 3. Boom! Mark Gordon extends the lead for the Western Ballaz.
And a foul was called under the basket. See the foul call on, yes, a pushing foul call here on Ihek. It should be a shooting foul, a one-shot foul. If the foul was called against Orange Walk, the basket good. And so Richard Smith III should be going to the free throw line to shoot one free throw.
There's some confusion here. But Gordon, jab set. Takes it inside, draws a foul, and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, I guess that the three-point shot wasn't good. It's still 47-43, a 4-point lead for Ballaz, as we have a smart guard at the free throw line.
Free throw. 54-3. Here comes the Heck. Heck. Hopkins for 3. Ooh. Rebels cut it to 5. Gordon. Can he answer? No good. Here comes Baptist. Bounce pass, stolen by Carvajal. They have numbers. If they take it, Carvajal takes it and it's a well strong move there by Jamie Carvajal, and he'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
A strong move by Jamie Carvajal that time, taking the ball into the line of the Giants with no fear, made good on the layup, and he will be rewarded with one free throw.
That is a veteran move. Definitely made the tougher shot because Brian White was out of place. So he took a harder decision to take it to Brian and ended up scoring anyways. And the ball rolls in. Gordon harassing Burgess. Hopkins looking for the drop. It's the Western Ballaz. Backdoor. Brian White. No good. Running Rebels.
Yeah, that time Garden forcing the issue. You had 2 defenders against 1 offensive player. And that's when you need to recognize, Peter.
That's youth versus veterans. The decision making is key. Hopkins, defended there by Carvajal. Jumper, no good. And that's Allison on the ground. Chengo. Pick from my head. Off the rim, he's short. Gets a second chance opportunity. Thinks about the corner 3. The one thing that you don't see the Rebels doing is using their size in the post-up against the Western Ballaz. They're trying to play the Western Ballaz style of game, which is running and shooting threes. Slow the game down, get in the post, and earn those extra points at the free throw line. They are not using their size.
A very good observation there, Peter, because they are settling now for jump shot. They went away from what got them back in the ball game.
You have to make your adjustments, right? If the shot is there, of course, and you're a shooter, take it. But right now, they're the smaller team, and they're not paying for it. Hopkins forcing up that shot, no good.
Again, he had 13 seconds on the shot that they could have regrouped and get a better shot.
And this is the point of the game where either one of these coaches need to call a timeout. As Richard Smith III scores the basket, draws the foul.
Richard Smith continues to attack the basket. When good things happen for Western Ballaz.
And definitely their strong suit indeed, using their speed and going to the hole.
Went to the left hand. Richard Smith III trying to complete the three-point play. As we have a timeout on the floor, we'll take a break and then we will be back. As we welcome you back inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium.
As Joshua Ihek has fouled out. Live on BGTV, Venice Belize Hurricanes versus the Punta Gorda Panthers, and the Hurricanes have an early 5-2 advantage.
So Richard Smith III at the free throw line trying to complete the three-point play, and he does.
Chengo, corner three, no good, too strong by Casemiro. War Angel, and one. Using that girth to get that offensive rebound and score.
Elvis Oliveira attacking the offensive glass, keeping the ball alive, and the finish.
Oliveira completing the three-point play. Here come the Western Ballaz. Allison trying to go baseline, gets it out to Carvajal. Carvajal behind the back pass to Richard Smith III, who draws the ball and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
As we take a look at it once again on the replay, wow. Beautiful drop pass, and Kirk Chengo Burgess getting the left arm of Richard Smith III, so he's at the free throw line, trying to make his free throw. First one is good. The 58-49 ball game.
Misses the second free throw. The Western Ballaz in this third quarter has somewhat been stabilizing themselves. Not necessarily as what you were suggesting, Reynard, with one player trying to do it. They have been doing it by committee, but thus far the Running Rebels doesn't have much of an answer in this third quarter.
Foul call on Ryan Carvajal, so non-shooting foul.
Bounce the turnover. Rebels with the chop, but he gets it to Mark Gordon. That's going to be a offensive foul as he's using the elbow to push off. You see Gordon push off. Good call by the referee.
Yeah, pushing off with the left elbow.
Chengo, no good. Mark Gordon. Allison, what a pass to Makari Augustin. Gets it all. Good ball movement. No. That would have been huge for the Western Ballaz. Corner three, Allison. Short. Allison gets back to miss. Ball will. Somehow the referee says off the hands of Allison. Ball goes to the Rebels.
And it shows that Makari Augustin is not comfortable with his shots tonight. He had an open look. He decided to bring the ball back behind the three-point arc. He had a high percentage shot and didn't went for it.
Hopkins. What a pass! That was beautiful.
Richard
also
Smith.
living dangerously, but it was an excellent 45 cut there. Look at in the low post, 45 cut trap. missing the layup, but that is good half-court offense.
Richard Smith with the block. And that could be Richard Smith's fourth foul if I am not mistaken. Joshua Hopkins at the free throw line as he missed the first of 2 free throws.
Western Ballaz with still with a 9-point advantage. Hopkins missing the second free throw as well.
A lane violation call on Western Ballaz.
And he will get another opportunity.
Second one is good from Hopkins. So he went 1 out of 2.
Smith for 3. Boom! I think that's the third three-pointer of the night for Richard Smith III. Excellent pass inside. Oliveira draws the foul, and the War Angel will go to the free throw line.
Richard Smith III, a lot of confidence in his shot. No red jersey was under the basket for the offensive rebound. He just pulled up and nailed the 3-point shot as we take a look at it once again on the replay. 2 defenders there in the paint for Running Rebels, but confidence dripping out of Richard Smith.
Yes, and that confidence has, it dissipated him. It left him for a while. But he was battling injuries, but he looks like a much different player, which more resembles when he was with the Belmont Bandits in their championship run in 2017.
I thought that there would have been a loss in numbers when it comes to fan attendance. But Peter, I am excited about what I am seeing last night and tonight.
Kyle has the best fan base apart from the Dangriga Dream Ballaz. It's either 1 and 1A or 1 versus 2. But it's between Dangriga Dream Ballaz and the Kyle Western Ballaz. These fan bases ball out. They come out to every game. They travel well. Their presence is felt.
Woo, what a block by Richard Smith III.
The rejection.
This is about his 4th block in this ball game.
Excellent pass inside. War Angel gets it to go. Gordon to Richard Smith. Crossover. Somehow Carbajal saves it. What a pass! Woo! Carbajal somehow saves that possession and gets it. Ends up turning it into 2 points.
The hustle play.
Turnover. They have numbers. Lock City. Richard Smith trying to send somebody.
It's a flagrant foul. It's a flagrant foul call on Kirk Chengo Burgess. But the hustle play of Ryan Carbajal, winning back possession.
I don't think that should have been a flagrant though.
Immediately the referee wasted no time.
Well, in some sense it could definitely be a flagrant 1, not a 2.
So Smith will go to the line and Ballaz will get possession.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the NBA you see flagrant, in FIBA you see unsportsmanlike foul, right? I believe. I'm not sure if they use the term flagrant in FIBA with FIBA rules.
So it's 2 free throws and possession for Ballaz. And Smith missed both free throws.
Carbajal. Mark Gordon with the fake, takes it inside and scores. Is Mark Gordon that stabilizer that you said that you're looking for on this Western Ballaz team now, Reynard?
Foul call on Casemiro. after the basket, he held on to Garden. But what a move there by Mark Garden. I am impressed with the play of Mark Garden tonight.
So what do you think? Do you think Mark Gordon could be that stabilizer, that person that can be relied upon, that when things are getting out of control, that he could stabilize the offense and have composure to hold off the Rebels?
What Mark has shown tonight, Peter, he can hit the three-point shot. He can take the ball in the paint, take on the big guys. He can rebound, and not only that, he can get the rebound defensively and start the fast break. And so this guy, as the season progresses, we'll be seeing more from Mark Garden.
All right, so we have Hopkins. Here comes the trap, turnover, numbers for the Ballaz. Carvajal trying to speed it up, not to get blocked.
Yeah, he got too much underneath the basket, underneath the
better
backboard.
Decision would have been to lob it. Woo! Two-handed slam.
And he can throw it down.
Head top.
I need to add that. He can throw it down. He can light up the crowd.
Yes. Woo! Baptist off the glass.
And that's the end. At the end of the third quarter, a buzzer beater there for Baptist. What we'll do is go to a break. When we come back, we'll have the fourth and final quarter for you from inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium. We'll be back. Fourth and final quarter underway here inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium, where the home team, Running Rebels, that's Western Ballaz, holding on to a 13-point lead over the visiting Orange Walk Running Rebels. And what a game Mark Garden is having tonight for Western Ballaz. Kid that shows that he is well-rounded, and I think bigger things will happen for this kid as the season progresses. And I know that Coach Karim Wan, he's excited about what he's seeing from not only Mark Garden, but also from their American import, Richard Smith III, who has been instrumental in opening the gap a little in the third quarter, as where the Orange Walk Running Rebels made a run. They closed it to as close as 4 points, but couldn't get over the hump. So it will be Western Ballaz with the possession to start the fourth and final quarter. Mark Garden be defended there by, and the foul will be called on Brian White as Mark Garden went around Brian White, got to the hole but couldn't finish. He will be at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws. As we take a look at it once again on the replay, what a move, the crossover, leaving Brian White in his track, and Brian White picking up the foul. So let's see if Mark Garden can capitalize from the charity stripe. His first one is up, it's no good, off the front rim with 1 more to go. Second free throw is up, and it's no good. Brian White with the defensive rebound. White crosses the timeline. There's John Baptist, and Baptist foul. The foul will be called on Molina. It's Kieran Molina with the foul. The John Baptist, who played the opening season with Progresso FC, and now he's on the hardwood with the Running Rebels. Baptist will launch a 3-point shot. Ball goes over the backboard. Be a throw-in for Western Ballaz, Richard Smith III.
Here comes Richard Smith III. Not much of a ball handler. The baseline to Mark Gordon. Makari Augustine still says it. Tooth says slow it down. Carvajal draws the foul and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Brian White picking up the foul. And that will put Jamie Carbajal at the free throw line. Could that be Brian White's fifth foul?
They were definitely checking up on it at the scorer's table. I'm not sure if he only had two at the time, so it could be his third personal, but I could be wrong.
Well, he went to the bench. Elvis Oliveira checked into the ball game along with Matthew Young for Orange Walk Running Rebels.
I do apologize for not having up-to-date stats as we were earlier, but the webcaster from the scorer's table is down, at least momentarily. As soon as we get some updates, we definitely will be passing those stats on to you.
And number 3, Greg Fisher, getting his first opportunity here in the ball game, wearing number 3 on his back.
You know, at the halftime, we were trying to get an interview, you know, with the Running Rebels, but you know, they had an extended talk with their team, and you know, they definitely feel that this young, hungry, upstart Running Rebels team is not up to their level. But sometimes you can have the name, but the next team might have the heart. And the Running Rebels have a lot of big names on their team. But this Western Ballaz team is young, they're hungry, and so far they're holding off whatever surge that the Rebels were trying to bring in the third quarter, and now they're back up to their largest lead in this second half, up to 16 points. Travel, elementary call there.
Yes, he moved both feet before putting the ball on the floor. Talking about Richard Smith III.
Here comes. He had the space. Elvis Oliveira does what he should do, is grabbing those rebounds with the second chance opportunity. Richard Smith III. And I'm not sure why Richard Smith III is. Ooh! Big shot there by Jamie Carbajal. But as I was saying, I don't see any reason why Richard Smith III needs to be bringing up the ball or dribbling the ball at all. That's not his strong suit.
Elvis Oliveira, and that's Matthew Young.
Back-to-back
another wide body for Orange Walk Running Rebels.
Or back-to-back field goals, that is. We have Rashid Reno, number 8. Not sure if Roger Reno is retired or just taking a break or trying to get himself into shape. But we don't see one of the greatest players to come out of Orange Walk. We don't see him on the roster.
The foul call on Macario Agustin as he will be taken out of the ball game. Puts Elvis Oliveira at the free throw line. It's checking back into the ball game for Western Ballaz.
Definitely a good call by Coach Kareem Juan to try and answer what in terms of size that the Running Rebels have. And definitely it is one of the better rebounders in Belize basketball.
Very good free throw shooting by Elvis Oliveira.
Ill-advised foul there by Hopkins.
Blocking foul call on Hopkins. We have 7:41 to go in the ball game.
Cannot impede the player. You got to move with him, try to get quick hands to get a steal, but you can't hip check. Mark Gordon, screen there from Midsa. Mark Gordon kicks it out. Good save there by Richard Smith III. Tut.
7 to shoot.
Tut! Oh, good. War Angel out to the wing. Offensive fall. Excellent call there. I'm telling you, when you take a charge at the Sacred Heart Auditorium, you are going to feel it.
And that's Jamie Carbajal taking one for the team. Stood his ground.
Excellent call there by the referees.
At both feet set.
In back-to-back games, what we are seeing is that the referees are doing a very good job in not only making the right call, but they're doing it in a timely fashion. Tut Molina. You see, this is where the inexperience of the Western Ballaz is going to come in. No reason for Kyron Tut Molina to be running up and down the floor with a 13-point lead. You need to slow it down, kill some clock, and look for the best shot possible. You don't need to turn this thing into a track meet. It's a marathon.
Molina holding on to his left knee as we take a look at it once again on the replay. Ooh.
That's right on the foot of Brian White.
Yes. He is still down in pain.
And they can ill afford to lose Kyron Tut Molina.
As we get a glimpse of the past. Is he still the president of the...
No, Paul Thompson has been overtaken by Jacob Leslie, the brother of Darren Kobe Leslie. He's the new president of the Belize Basketball Federation. Kyron Tut Molina, hopefully it's nothing more than just a sprain and nothing serious. But one of the homegrown players.
I'm not sure if he came down on Elvis Oliveira foot.
Baptist trying to draw the foul. Oliveira saves it. Reynolds swings it up to the left wing, back to the right wing. No good. Itza with the rebound. Here comes Usher. And he gets it to Gordon. What a move there. Gets the finger roll to goal. Stolen by Richard Smith III. Brian White with the rebound.
Mark Garden operating in front of his home fans here tonight.
Baptist gets it in the low post. Oliveira almost scores, but he was blocked. Gordon, the Western Ballaz need to slow this game down. This is not smart basketball by the Western Ballaz.
Clearly, yes. You see Elvis Usher Jr. saying, slow it down. I guess he heard you, Peter.
Yes. Look for
Milk the clock.
Best shot. For the right shot. Draws the ball. And one. And that's the best shot that they could have gotten in that situation.
Peter, I am becoming a Mark Garden fan tonight. I am so impressed with this young man's ability. Taking the ball to the hole once again, making good on the shot, and he is now at the free throw line. He has done this several times tonight in this ball game.
Yes, definitely showing poise. And in these parts of the ball game, you need someone that can make the right decision and get points. But if you're just running up and down, and now you're seeing Brian White now being injured. You see, when you're out for so long, not playing competitive basketball, we're not talking about playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3, an occasional 5-on-5 pick-up basketball. We're talking about grown men basketball, semi-pro basketball, professional basketball. When you're out for that long and you try to do this for 40 minutes straight, the fatigue, your conditioning, these can lead to injuries. And we were talking about that all night last night. And now we're finally seeing that narrative playing out in this ball game. It's missing a point blank. We are Baptist missing another layup.
Last touch goes off Richard Smith III. But Itza got caught in the air. He wanted to jam the ball, he wanted to dunk, he wanted to lay it up.
And it's when he moves in this slow motion pace. But he usually finds a way to make it, but he misses that one. Up top, good swing pass to the left wing. Too strong, Jiggy! The jig master gets the juice, draws the ball, and will go to the line for two.
Matthew Young working the offensive glass for the Running Rebels.
Webcast is still down. A 17-point lead for the Western Ballaz. And if this score holds up and the result goes to the home team, it's going to be a long drive back to Orange Walk for the Orange Walk Running Rebels. Richard Smith. His quickness, what a pass. Itza draws the ball.
The ball slips through his hand.
Itza wasn't ready for that. But definitely a good decision there by Richard Smith III. It's just a lot of rust, ladies and gentlemen.
Holding for a call on Elvis Usher Jr. That should put Western Ballaz over the limit. So are you impressed so far with Orange Walk international players that they have brought in?
Definitely like what I'm seeing from Hopkins. EHEC, you know, or IHEC. I'm going to get that last name sorted out. But, you know, they have tried to do their part, you know, to keep the Rebels in this game, at least in the third quarter. When they made a run, they got as close as, I believe, 4 points. You know, but a veteran team, an older team, the legs are going to show at some point. So before we go to break, just like to pick up our sponsors, Sprite, enjoy your thirst, the official beverage of the Belize Elite Basketball League, Belize Bank eCash, and powered by Next Gen. We'll be right back.
As we are back live inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium, where the home team Ballaz holding on to a 13-point lead against the visiting Running Rebels out of Orange Walk. Fourth quarter action with 4:56 to go in the ball game. And Jamie Carbajal at the free throw line trying to extend the lead for Western Ballaz.
Carbajal makes the first free throw.
Carbajal's second free throw. And it's good. Kashif Thomas back in the ball game. And we have a jump ball. Possession stay with the Rebels. Kirk Chengo Burgess. Hopkins being defended there by Elvis Usher Jr. Hopkins around Usher Jr. Off the glass, no good. Last touch goes off Carbajal.
What is definitely noticeable from Jamie Carbajal, he definitely is coming in smaller in size. You know, he put on a lot of weight throughout his NBL career, but this is the slimmest that I've seen Jamie Carbajal in quite some time, and he definitely looks in good shape.
Jamie is one who keeps his body in very, very good condition.
Kashi Thomas missing the first free throw. And as all the accolades that Kashi Thomas has gathered throughout his basketball career, we're not sure how when's the last time that he's been in a competitive environment like what we're seeing here tonight. So it's going to take some time for Kashi Thomas to get acclimated back to the live action of basketball. Almost from the same corner that he got the game winner against the Hurricanes some years ago. But it's with the putback, and the Rebels are up by 17 points. Kashi for three, too strong. Richard Smith the third, woo, behind the back. And he's trying to draw the foul. Good no call there by the referee.
Smith that time with the left hand shot hit the side of the backboard.
Do you think Coach Troy Gabb left Akeem Trapp out a little bit too long? It's like when he went to the bench, so did that comeback attempt by the Orange Rock Running Rebels.
Yeah, that could be it right there, Peter, because when he came in off the bench, he brought energy, he brought a spark, and the players, they were motivated off Akeem Trapp tenacity. After being taken out of the ball game and went back to the bench, Western Ballaz then went on a run against the Rebels, and so a very good observation.
Yeah, he's back up to 17 points. I know he was playing some extended minutes, and as a coach, you have to monitor your minutes distribution. That's definitely a part of the job of being a coach. So it definitely could be minutes distribution decision by Troy Gabb, but it definitely affected the Running Rebels in trying to complete the comeback.
I see great things happening for Orange Walk Running Rebels in this season, the 2023 BEBL season. This team will come together. Now remember, Chris Frazier, he has signed on with them. He's not here with the team tonight, and so when Frazier makes it here in the country, we'll see what he will bring.
Chris Frazier is not with the Hurricanes. Chris Frazier.
Oh, he was the Hurricanes. Yes. Sorry, he signed on with the Hurricanes.
His meal ticket left.
I thought it was with the with Orange Walk Running Rebels, but it's Hurricanes. Correction.
I'm telling you, that's a huge signing by the Belize Hurricanes. I know, there's some discrepancies or some confusion when it comes to Kirk Smith Jr., who ended up signing with both the Hurricanes and the Defenders, and he is now suspended for a year. So you sort of you caught me off guard when you were saying that Chris Frazier was signing with the Western Ballaz. I was wondering if something behind the scenes happened that I wasn't aware of, but something very similar happened actually with Kirk Smith Jr., and he's now suspended for 1 year.
Wow. What a drive there to the hole just now by Mark Gardner as he continued to impress the home fans here inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium.
War Angel bullying his way inside, but couldn't get it to
very good defense against Elvis Oliveira.
What a shot there. Beautiful mid-range from the corner. Stolen by Elvis Usher, harassing the Rebels, and it's now 20 points, almost equaling their largest lead of the night.
And Coach Gabb will have to go back to the drawing board in the week ahead.
I think it's time now for Coach Kareem Wan to take out the starters, get Richard Smith the third out of there, get Itza back in, and probably even though Mark Gordon is quote-unquote reserved, get Mark Gordon out of there as well. It's all she wrote here at the Sacred Heart Auditorium. Richard Smith the third for three, no good. And a hustle of these Western Ballaz. They're not stopping to play. Coach Kareem Wan needs to get his players out there.
And the fall there by Elvis Oliveira on Richard Smith III. He'll be going to the free throw line. But it was when the 5 players that were on the floor in the third quarter when they start settling for the long shots, are talking about the running rebels. That's right where they lost their game, Peter. It's not here in the fourth quarter. They went away from Coach Troy Gabb's game plan, and they start just shooting at random from behind the three-point arc instead of taking the ball into the paint. And you saw it. They did not utilize the paint with the players that they had on the floor at that time.
You see, the Western Ballaz identity may be this run and gun team. They're young. They have the legs to do it. But the Rebels cannot play that style of basketball. They are a veteran team that understands half-court basketball more so than the Western Ballaz. They have to play their style of basketball. And a lot of times, you know, players have to understand, even if I'm down, I'm going to play my style, and hopefully my style gets me back into the ball game.
Oh, the steal here by Richard Smith III.
Not sure why Richard Smith III is still in the ball game. Hopefully the coaching staff gets him out, especially after losing Karen Tukmalina. You do not want any more key injuries to your players. Full court press. Not sure why the Western Ballaz is doing this. You know, the ball game is,
and it comes away with a steal.
Yeah. But you know, there's a respect factor in the game, and you don't want to run up the score. But definitely teams remember these things, and it can cause you issues down the road, especially when they head up north for the rubber match in Orange Walk.
I think Coach One has something here to build off. That player right there, number 1, Mark Garden. His confidence level has developed tonight, Peter. This kid is going to be a force in the BEBL for Western Ballaz. I'm already seeing that, and he will only get better. So, Coach One, he has a gem right here in the likes of Mark Garden.
I hope that that Kariman doesn't try to force him into the starting lineup either. He's very good where he is, and a lot of times when bench players produce, they automatically feel, okay, I have to put him in the starting lineup. Stick to what is working. Mark Gordon off of the bench works for you. You know, so let's see if they keep what is working going into the next matchup next week. Carvajal, rebound. As we approach 60 seconds. $90 to 67, 33 point. Sorry, my math is off. That's 23 points. Corner 3. Trying to go glass.
Shot clock violation.
Even the Rebels, I'm not sure why Hopkins is still on the floor. And the Western Ballaz are just relentless. Definitely the first upset of this 2023 BBL season, and we're going to see a lot of those, a lot of upsets.
The quick hands there by Bermudez, taking the ball away from Elvis Oliveira.
Carvajal, crossover, and that's all she wrote. Ballaz, Western Ballaz, 1-0. Rebels fall to 0-1 with a lot of questions. We'll be right back, and we're gonna get some post-game interviews.
What a win tonight. Home opener in front of a jam-packed Sacred Heart Auditorium. A very good win for Western Ballaz, but we still see areas that they will need to work.
Yes, and definitely we're gonna discuss that in our post game. So we're gonna get some players and coaches to get some post game interviews, and we'll be right back.
As we welcome you back inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium where Western Ballaz has just pulled off their home opener, a huge win for them. And I'm joined here by Mark Garden. Mark, you came off the bench. You brought a lot of energy into the game for Western Ballaz. What was the game plan coming into the game tonight?
Me coming off the bench actually gave us more confidence playing without me. But me coming in, giving a push, motivating my teammates to keep going without me, and me coming in playing hard. That's what it was about.
Let's talk a little bit about your game tonight. You have an outside game, you have an inside game, you play offense, you play defense. Talk about Mark Garden. It's the first time we are seeing Mark Garden.
Yeah, I'm a three-level scorer. I can shoot a three, mid-range, layup, dribble. I can do it all.
Are you more comfortable coming off the bench, or would you rather be in the starting lineup? Because tonight, off the bench, you really brought the spark that the team needed.
I mean, that's my first time actually like coming off the bench in a long time, so I can do both. But I'd rather start, but coming off the bench, if that's what coach wants, that's what coach wants.
Mark, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
All right, I'm now joined by Coach Karim Han. Karim, first game, home opener in front of a huge crowd. Talk about the energy that the fans brought into the Sacred Heart Auditorium tonight.
Good night, Ray. Good night, viewers. Well, you know how Kayo does it, how Western Ballaz will bring out the crowd. The marketing team did an excellent job the past 2 weeks, visiting all the primary and high schools, making sure we get back our fan base. So, of course, they made a difference for us, Ray.
Talk about the play tonight of Mark coming off the bench, because he came in and he established himself very early in this ball game. And we talk about, I am seeing something good for Western Ballaz and Mark Garden.
Oh, Mark is an excellent player. Mark flew in on Thursday, so he only got in one practice with us Thursday night. But I'm almost sure he'll be one of our starters next game.
In the third quarter, Orange Walk running Rebels. In the second quarter, they made a run. You call a timeout. What did you say to the players then? Because you guys were up by 21?
Yeah, so we realized they were scoring more on the outside. They were hitting threes. So we switched up the defense a bit. Then we had to play man on their sniper. And I think that made a difference for us.
Coach, congratulations on an opening season win. And we are looking for more wins from Kaya Western Ballaz as the season progresses.
Thank you, Ray. And our Kaya Western Ballaz is a local-based team with our local players. And that's our model for this season.
All right, there you have it from Coach Juan and Mark Garden in a huge win tonight, opening season night in front of a huge fan output, and we are expecting to see this every time Kaya Western Ballaz play at home, especially after what they did tonight, what they displayed tonight. We'll be seeing a lot of very good games played right here on this floor. So what we'll do, we'll wrap it up here from the Sacred Heart Auditorium. Reynard Garbett, Peter Lacey, for the rest of the TNC crew, I want to say good night. God bless you.